is in the building. Facto.
Welcome to the Ignorance is Contagious podcast, a podcast about stories and life lessons. I'm James LeGrand.
And I'm Abdul Majid.
And today we're here with Kristen J., lover of all things funny. Thanks for being here, Kristen.
Thanks for having me. Yay.
Today we're going to talk about the story of Zola, which was posted as a series of tweets in 2015.
So I initially thought about this story when we first started doing this podcast because I thought the story was really interesting. I initially saw the tweets and the reaction to the tweets on Twitter. And then subsequently, there was like a movie that came out a little bit later. But this whole story is so wild and so entertaining. And there's so much that you can take out of the story that I thought would be a great story for us to recap and give what we give with regards to the lessons. So, Kristen J., take it away.
Okay, listen up. This story long. So I met this white bitch at Hooters. I was her waitress. She came in with this old ass, big ass black dude. So, as a Hooters girl, we have to talk to our customers. So I sit with them and we get to talking and she tells me she dances. So I'm like, oh, yes, bitch, me too. Then she tells me this hulking black man is her sugar daddy. And I'm like, oh, yes, bitch, my SD at home. I feel it. So we vibing over our hoism or whatever, and we exchange numbers. And we like, next time you dance, hun, I'm going to come dance with you. And they leave. So the next day, I get a text like, bitch, let's go to Florida. And I'm like, huh? She's like, I'm going to dance in Florida. Let's go.
So how trustworthy are white bitches with big black sugar daddies? Part one. And part two, have you ever had any history of hoism? And please tell in detail.
No, I'm a good girl. I don't do all of that. No,
in 2015, can you trust white bitches in 2015? Is the other question.
There is no year where they can be trusted. So there's that. So
I think it's more the trust of a complete stranger that you met while serving them at Hooters, right? I mean, it's the circumstance.
I think the enhancement is the white bitches.
Hell, right?
Everything is sus, and then add on white bitches.
This is all crazy, and it just got started.
Yeah. All right, you keep going.
Now I'm skeptical. Like, damn, bitch, we just met and we already taken whole trips together. But I had went to Florida 2 months prior and made $15K. Whew. So low key, I was down. So I'm like, okay, I'll go. Who all's going? And when we leaving, all this bitch says is be ready by 8. So I call her like, bitch, I said, who all going? She says, my boyfriend and our roommate, and my roommate has a place in Tampa. So I'm like, okay, I'll be ready. So I pack my baddest stripper wear and I'm ready. Now, my nigga did not want me to go. He was so hurt. So I had to fuck him calm, and then I left. Now, when I got in the car, it was it was a white boy, her boyfriend, and this hulking black guy, not the same one. So I texted her on the slick while in the back seat, like, another sugar daddy. You got a tight bitch. And the black dude had her damn phone. So he starts laughing and he goes, I'm using her GPS. No, I'm not SD, sugar daddy. I've known her and her dude for 8 years. We all live together. So Jessica, the white bitch, pulls me to the side and is like, we're going to be at the club all night. This is room for Jared, not us. Don't even trip. So I was like,
okay, yeah. Hold on for a second. Let's stop right there. I think the universal statement is who all there.
Yeah.
Anytime you ask who all there, you know it's about to be some dumb shit. And have you ever been fucked to sleep, James? Or have you ever been fucked calm? Can you be upset and pussy make you calm?
There's a calming effect, no doubt. So. Hey, it's a good strategy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Kristen?
That's facts. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Usually the best kind will do that to you.
My favorite part about the whole tweet so far is the white bitch in the parentheses. So Jessica, white bitch. Like,
white bitch.
In case you forgot.
Just to be clear.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
All right.
But if you gotta keep asking who all going? Who is this? And you don't even know the name of some of the people you with. We got a problem already.
Already, so many layers.
Yep.
The worst onion. Lots of layers.
Just
The
peeling
worst.
back.
All
So
right, you
I
got
was
it.
like, yeah, bitch, okay. But trust, I am not laying my head here. So we leave our shit at the motel with Jared and head to the club. So we working. It was king of slow. It was early Friday night. The club had hella rules, which I'm not used to. I'm a full nude type of bitch. The club required pasties and boy shorts and all this other shit, whatever. So after making about $800, I was ready to go. She was talking to some dude, trying to talk him out of his wallet and exchange numbers. So I was like, call your man, I'm ready. She calls the black dude. I'm like, that's not your man, but okay. So I pull it to the side before he pulled up, like, what's up with your roommate? And she was like, we're really close. Before I met Jared, I was with him. He was taking care of me. I was like, oh, well, I don't need that. Taking care of me in stripper language means that was her pimp. So I was like, does Jared know? And she goes, of course not. Strike one. So then she goes, I didn't make anything tonight. What you make? Because he gonna ask. I said, that's not y'all's business, Jess. Chill. So he pulls up, and as soon as we get in, he goes, what y'all make? We said at the same time, nothing. So he goes, damn, my girl says she had a bad night too. We finna pick her up. His fiance, who lives down here. We pick her up, and he goes, nobody made shit. Y'all want to trap? Trap in stripper lingo means trick. So Jessica goes, hell yeah, you got some clients? I'm in the back on mute. He was like, you can get some. So Jess is like, yeah, I need to trap. But Jared is at the room, and he goes, I wasn't putting y'all in that shithole. That was for him, not y'all. I'm still quiet. We pull up to this nice ass hotel on the other side of town, and he goes, I'll get the clients together and text y'all off this.
Okay. So, two chicks from Detroit. So to summarize the story where we're at now, for anybody following along, two women from Detroit decide to take a trip to Tampa, Florida, to strip. They know each other tangentially, and then they decide to take this trip down to South Florida to strip for money because the woman made $15K prior to that when she went down there last time. Now they go out there.
Zola made 15.
Zola made 15 grand. Okay, so
right.
Now that they're out there, the person who's drove them out there is now revealed to be a pimp. Is that what you're getting from it, James, or is that what?
Yes, sir. That's exactly right. And it's going from bad to worse.
Okay, let me ask you this, Christian. Has there been any time? Who all going? Has there been any time when you've been on a trip, an outing, or something with your girl, where someone lands some important information, leaves out some important information that you find out midway the trip?
Well, that happens a lot, yeah. So, but I can't think of any specific stories at this time.
No, you don't have to be specific, but is that a woman thing? Is that a girl thing? Or is that just something?
Well, that's a life thing. There's plenty of people that are shady and don't give you enough information, and you ask. But usually, your spidey senses start tingling way earlier than this.
No, keep going. I'm sorry.
I do remember, although it wasn't quite where information was left out, it was borderline kind of like a pimp situation. I went with a friend to her college homecoming, and one of the performers told one of her boys after he performed, well-known rapper too, after he performed, he told her boy to get me on the phone with him because he was trying to connect with me for the night. I guess I was going to be the piece for the night. Hey, ain't nobody mentioned any money. Certainly not 15K, because this might have been a whole different story if that was the case. However, I get on the phone and he was like, what's up? You coming up? What's up? And I was like, you got the wrong girl. That's not me. That's not me. So no, thank you.
You almost could have got paid. The story of Cola. We'd have been rehashing this shit on Twitter.
Look, that's what you lead with. If you lead with 15K, I'll be ding dong. Hello, I know you're in there. I'm here. I'm ready.
Can I tell you one time back in the 90s, I rephrased, back in the 90s, I knew a guy who invited me. He's like, "Hey, you want to go down to Howard Homecoming?" I was like, "Sure, yeah, no problem." So he's like, "All right." I knew what he did. He was in the street pharmaceuticals, but we were cool. I didn't do any of that stuff, but I knew what he did. He had a black Acura Legend, which when black Acura Legend was a joint, so he made a couple dollars. He picks me up. We're on our way down to DC, and where he's kind of speeding, and I know he's kind of speeding. And if you know anything about Jersey turnpikes, if you're speeding, you're gonna get caught at some point. We're down the turnpike. He gets pulled over, and he's like really nervous. And I'm like, what you nervous? It's just speeding tickets, like nothing. So whatever. He's like, nah. I got 2 kilos of cocaine and a gun under your seat.
Oh.
So the only difference between you and Zola is she had Twitter.
Yeah, she had Twitter. The only difference is that she had Twitter. Exactly.
That's crazy. That's scary.
This nigga had 2 kilos and
Did
a
you get pulled
gun
over?
underneath
Go to jail?
my seat.
Did
And
you
we
drop
got pulled
the
over.
phone?
We absolutely got pulled
Do
over.
you have
Huh?
a record?
No.
Did you get pulled over?
So
Did you get arrested? Did you drop the soap? Were you somebody's bitch? What's up?
no. So what happens is that the cops come up, they tap the window, say you've been speeding, you know how fast you've been going, that sort of stuff. And then I put on the most perfect white man voice impersonation I could. Hello, officer. What seems to be the incident? What seems to be the problem here, sir? I use every sir, Mr., please. And the guy was like, "Oh, I was officer. We're just going down to." I had to pitch up the voice. We're just going down to DC for me to go back to college. My bags are in the back. Blah 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 blah. He was like, "Okay, well, all right, just slow down." Gave us a warning, and we took back off. We got to Howard Homecoming to the hotel. He got out the car. And I hit this nigga so hard.
I knew you did. I knew that was coming.
Hit him so hard once he got out the car. Like it was literally, I waited, I kept my peace until we were in the parking lot of the hotel. We get out the car, take our back, and I hit him. He falls, and then I had to find a way back. But that was the easy part. Right? I knew some people were down there, and I had an amazing time at Howard Homecoming. So
that was interesting, but I'm stuck on the part where you did your little coon dance for the officer.
Oh man, listen. I had 2 kilos and a gun under my seat.
A bale of cotton.
Yeah.
Look.
Listen.
You do what you got to do, and when they knock on the window, you know.
Oh, MJ!
You lucky I didn't start singing. Singing. Oh, nigga, I was not going to jail for some cocaine that did not belong to me.
Oh my goodness, hilarious!
And here's the other part. Here's the other part we forget. It was a gun. There's 9mm under the seat. Bullet was in the chamber. So you get caught for every bullet in the chamber and every bullet with that. So
what?
Yeah.
So
I didn't know. And I talked aside that.
No, that was that would have been a life-changing experience right there. That would have changed the whole trajectory of your life.
I'd have did a stretch for that one because they don't give a shit who's in the car. Yeah. Someone's going down for something.
You had every right to be upset. You had every right to be angry. I knew you hit him. I was just waiting for that part to come. I knew you.
If you know anything about our family, violence is part of it. Violence is in the weeds in our story. At some point, someone's punching somebody. So anyway, let's get back to the story.
All right.
He handed her a trap phone. So I am mind blown at this point. So then we get to the room. Nice as fuck. Just me and Jess, and I start going off. Bitch, you got me fucked up. I'm not about to play with you, hoe. I'm going home. So she starts crying, and she's like, I didn't want to take the trip alone. Please don't leave me. I would be so scared alone. She's fucking sobbing. I'm like, oh my God, really? Now I'm feeling bad for the hoe. She goes, you can just check the guys in. He's not going to force you to trap. I said, oh, bitch, I know he not. I killed dead ass all y'all. Verbatim. I'm sorry. I need to read that one more time, guys. Oh, no bitch, I know. He not. I killed dead ass all y'all. Ass kill y'all. I'm sorry.
Dead ass. Anytime niggas say dead ass, you
dead ass kill y'all. Verbatim.
And if they
and
say
white
dead
tears,
ass,
white tears get you every time. White tears get you every time.
White tears get you every time.
Got mad at a traffic ticket. Black tears too.
So she cleans herself up and there's a knock at the door. I open the door and some fat white man goes, I'm here for the white girl. So I check his pockets, take his wallet and let him in. They start fucking right on the bed next to me. It was a fucking mess. A mess. So then, so when they finished, he gave her $100. I said, Jess, you selling pussy for $100? Pussy is worth thousands. You tripping. She goes, I don't make the prices. The prices are already discussed before they come in. So I was like, bitch, no, if you want to do this, do it right. So I took some pics of her and put them on Backstage along with the trap phone number with a minimum of $500. The phone starts blowing up. I was like, see, bitch, I got you a nigga coming up right now, giving $500 for 15 minutes. He comes, I check him, and they get it in. He leaves. We were doing this all night. She fucked about 20 dudes, and her sorry ass pimp only sent 3 of them. So around 6 a.m., Jared calls. She answers on a speaker, and he's going off. Where the fuck are you in Zola? The club been closed. And she goes, we went to another club, and it was slow. So I'm Googling 24-hour clubs. Florida has a few, trying to help her lie, and he is not having it. He's livid. He goes, if you went home with a dude, you're dead.
So hold on. She fucked 20 dudes.
Jared's the boyfriend who has been stuck in the other room, not knowing any of this other stuff happened. He's calling to find out where she's at, and then they're lying to him saying they just went to some other clubs.
So 20 dudes at $500 a pop is what?
Yeah, I want that. It actually was it was 17 at $500 a pop. Because remember, the pimp sent 3, and he was only charging $150. Remember that? That's
like 8. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, so if you fucking and you like dude number 1, what kind of hole are you getting a new dude number like 20? It's just like fucking a balloon at that point.
Now, how would you know this?
I wouldn't actually. I'm just assuming. Nothing about this is in my wheelhouse or have things that I've done ever before in my entire life.
Knowingly, so, you don't know if you don't know if that when you slid up in there wasn't busy before you got there. You don't know.
Knowingly, knowingly, it could have been. I could have been. You know,
you could have been number 21.
I could have been the billionth customer. I could have easily been the billionth customer. So
yeah, thinking you're number 1.
thinking I am number 1. Fuck you. Keep reading, nigga.
Yo, that's a lot of money, though. That's a lot of money.
Remember now, he already threatened that she was dead if they went home with somebody. So he asked to speak to me. I was like, man, I'm gonna end up killing these crazy white niggas tonight. So he starts cursing me out. Where are y'all? I know she's lying. Don't be a hoe like her, Zola. I said, I promise you I'm not. He hangs up on me, and that was it. We didn't hear from him for the rest of the night. We fall asleep. A few hours later, I guess you meant a few hours later. Yeah, a few hours later, the black dude, I still don't know his name, comes up. He's like, how much you make last night? Jess goes, $5,500. I was like, what the fuck? Why is she telling the truth? I pimped her, not him. So he goes, what the fuck? How? That's good. But I only sent you 3 clients. She goes, Zola made me a back page. I was like, wow. Here we go. So he goes, you can do my job better than me? I said, I was just helping her out. Like, I really don't care. Your clients were cheap. He started laughing. He goes, give me the money. She gave him all of it. And he goes, thanks, Zola. You were a real one. And throws $500 at me. I put that shit right in my bra. The fuck? And Jess goes, what about me? And he said, you owe me rent, Jess. You haven't paid in months. I was like, damn. So we leave and head to Jared and the Raggedy Hotel because our shit was there. As we pull up, Jared chilling outside, smoking weed with some dude. Pay attention here. We get out and walk up to them, and Jared goes, here they go. The pimp goes, here who go, little nigga, who this? Jared starts laughing and was like, He was asking me who I was here with, and I said, my girl and her friends. That's all. Chill out. The guy Jared was talking to laughs and goes, I'll catch you later, man. Nice to meet you, and leaves. He was a black guy with dreads, a Florida nigga. So we all go up to the room. The pimp is going off on Jared. You don't know these niggas. I can't believe you told him 2 bitches in here. And Jared goes, he asked me why I was out here mad last night. All I said was my girl went to work and her friend and I ain't want her to. Now the pimp is screaming, so that nigga know it's money up here now? Hell no, we gotta go. We gotta go now. Me and Jess are like, shocked emoji, shocked emoji, shocked emoji. So we pack our shit and head out. We went to a nicer hotel about 20 minutes away. So the pimp was like, Zola, keep an eye on Jared. I was like, oh shit. He then promoted me to look out and shit. So he leaves to go back to get his fiance at home. And Jared and Jess start arguing. He was like, I know you was trapping, Jess. I saw the back page ad, ho. And he shows her a screenshot. I was like, oh shit, here we go. So he starts crying like a bitch. And I was like, wow. He's like, I thought you were done with this. I didn't come to Florida for this. You messy. And then he turns to me and goes, this what you came here for, Zola? I said, hell nah. Jared, she low-key set me up. I'm not fucking with y'all after this. He goes, wow, you even set up your friend. You such a hoe. So they arguing for hours. I leave and go down to the pool. I mean, I'm in Florida. So my man calls me. I lied and said everything was okay. I didn't want him worrying. I had a nice dinner. And then the pimp calls the trap phone. I answer and he's like, since you are madam and shit, do that shit again tonight. But set up out calls only because this hotel too nice to trap out of. I was like, cool, I got you. Especially for another 500. So I got up to the room and told Jess to get ready. Jared goes, what the fuck again, bitch? No. I said, Jared, calm down, please. This white nigga started punching himself like crazy people do, dog. I was like, oh, hell no. And that's no, you guys. Nawll.
And she spent no, Knoe.
Oh, wait, you got that in there?
I caught that part too. That part too.
He goes, if you do this again, Jess, I will kill myself. I love you too much. I was like, this nigga lost his something. This bitch lost in the game. So I said, Jared, sit the fuck down. Jess, come on, so I can take some pics, and it's already 10 o'clock. Y'all playing, so I made her a fresh ad. Ooh, when we came out the bathroom, I did her hair and makeup and shit, and Jared goes, everybody knows you a hoe now. Fuck you. I want to go home. I said, huh?
All right, so let's stop there for a second. Let's stop there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so James, at what point after you find out that your woman was hoeing again, do you leave? Again is the key word. Do you leave?
I leave on the first one, not the second one. I'll wait for the second one. This is crazy, right? I mean, think about just all the issues that come up from hoeing, right? Just all the situations that you find yourself in, the diseases that you're subjected to, the violence that you're subjected to. I mean, there's the moral bankruptcy that exists there. There's a whole bunch of issues. So on the first one, when I find out the first time, that is the last time. There's no second.
Okay, Kristen, do you know any white niggas? Because that was in the story. It's white nigga. Do you know any white niggas?
I've come across them, but I don't know them because I'm really particular about who's around me. So nah.
This dude's got no confidence. He's got no sense of himself, right? I mean,
no Roger, no rerun, no ring.
He's letting all this happen around him, you know? And he's getting mad about it, but he's not doing anything about it.
He's punching himself. I don't know if that's
which
apparently Jess has
exactly it.
Clearly, Jess has the snappy. That's facts. Evidently, Jess has the snappy because he can't let it go. So there's that.
So he's willing to kick his own ass to avoid getting to a true confrontation.
So last question to both. I guess to both you. If you had to give the details of what a white nigga was. What was your description? I'm stuck on white nigga. That's where I'm stuck at. All this hoeing and shit don't matter because it's like, okay, par for the course, Florida. White nigga. If we had to put a list of what a white nigga was, what would that list entail?
I don't even. And forgive me for going first, Kristen. But
No, not at
my
all.
thought on this is, regardless of race, right? I mean, I think you have an explicit, a true link to ignorance, right? Our podcast is called "Ignorance is Contagious," and almost every story we talk about has some element like this in it, right? That we're trying to learn from. And so I don't think it's so much a racial thing as much as it's a behavioral thing and a mindset. And the mindset's clearly throughout this entire story.
Kristen.
I'm gonna paraphrase everything he said. These motherfuckers crazy. These motherfuckers crazy. That's it. They crazy. All of them. Everybody from top to bottom. They're all crazy. Yeah, and that's why they're all together. One little happy dysfunctional group.
All right.
Something's wrong with each of them. Each of them. And I'll get to Zola later.
All right. Continue on.
Okay, so which one did we go on? We came out the bathroom. I did her hair and makeup. Did we talk about that?
No, that's where we're at. We're at right there right now.
Well, okay. We came out the bathroom. I did her hair and makeup and shit. And Jared goes, everybody knows you a hoe now. Fuck you. I want to go home. I said, huh? He throws his phone at her. And it's her Facebook. A status of both ads. Her mom is on there going off in the comments. Jessica starts bawling. Oh my God, my mom had my daughter this week. How could you? She's on the floor literally breaking down. I was like, shocked emoji, shocked emoji, shocked emoji, shocked emoji. So Jessica calls the pimp and tells Jared just put everything on Facebook. My whole family sees. The pimp goes, I told Zola to watch him. Literally 5 minutes later, it's the pimp banging at our door. He comes in with his fiance this time and snatches Jared up by the neck. He wasted no time. He goes, I should really kill your ass. Jared is dangling off the ground crying, please don't, please. Low-key, I'm crying. The fiance pulls out a handgun, y'all. She goes, you want bae or what? Fuck him. He did our girl so wrong. I was like, oh my fucking God. So now Jess steps in. She's like, please don't. Just beat his ass, Z. I was like, oh, his name Z. Okay, got it. So he puts him down. Z goes, nah, I'm gonna kill his manhood though. And he sits on the bed next to his fiance. He goes, sit in front of me, Jared. He does, still crying. He goes, delete the post and give me your phone. He did. Then he goes, come here, Jess. I was so lost. His fiance unbuckled his pants and Jess gets on her knees and starts sucking his dick in front of Jared and I. I was like, yo. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to take a break.
Yeah.
There's a lot there. There's a lot there.
Ooh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yo.
So Jared takes a bad situation and makes it worse. Rather than dealing with the people he's with then and there, he takes what he finds, those ads, those posts, and he posts it up on Facebook, making himself not only does he look bad, but he puts himself in a very dangerous situation because we know, according to street rules, this dude Z, he probably, when he picked him up the way he did, it's similar to what you said, Ab, earlier, in terms of when someone did something that you didn't expect, he punched them in the face. That's in street justice. That's
if you
the
violate,
rules,
we demonstrate. Right? That's what they say, right? If you violate, we demonstrate. So
so Jared's playing a game that he doesn't understand.
So wait a minute. I thought I needed a break from that moment. There's more.
Yeah. I'm still stuck on the fact that he literally just sat there and watched. Okay, he knew his girl was home before. Mm-hmm. Then he knew his girl was home now. Mm-hmm. He gets punked by the pimp, takes his phone, and then makes him watch his girl suck his dick. So this nigga
There's more.
Okay. Keep going.
He then gets up and starts fucking Jess from the back. What? I'm sorry. I'm not reading anymore. I'm reacting. Jared's just sitting there. I'm standing with my mouth to the floor. That's the tweet, but this is me reacting. What? Okay. I'm sorry. Back to the tweet.
So the worst, you know what the worst part of this shit is? is
What,
just
the
sitting
worst
there.
part? You mean
Yeah,
other
the
than
worst.
all of it?
Here's the thing about it. It's the visuals fuck with you. As a guy, I'm just talking about from a guy.
Right.
The visuals fuck with you if you know a guy's messing with your girls. But imagine having to hear the sound. So you're like, and in your mind, when you go home, all you
You
hear is
mean the
blurping
WAP?
sounds and cheeks and the sounds of cheeks clapping. And in
The
your
WAP?
mind, that's
The macaroni? The
the
WAP?
mac. You hear the mac. Anytime you have a bowl of macaroni, the thoughts in your mind about some big black nigga fucking your girl in a hotel room after she done fucked 20 dudes is gonna pop up.
And remember, Z's fiance unbuckled his pants, knowing what was going to happen next. So she was down with this, and she sat right there.
Well, she's a hoe too, though. I believe she's a hoe herself.
Oh yeah, because she didn't make anything earlier in the story, right? You made that comment. She didn't make anything either when that
You
night.
believe
So,
she's a hoe. That's funny. You believe she's a hoe.
I believe I have not gotten proof of hoism.
I think we got proof. I think we got proof.
She's got that life too. She's in it. She's in it with the rest of these clowns. So the
yeah, she's right there, and she knew what the next play was. So she knows what's up, and clearly this is not the first time that's happened.
Yeah,
Clearly.
damn, your girl's up there slurping and burping and getting her cheeks clapped, and you gotta watch the whole thing. Yeah, I'm stuck. All right, keep going. Keep going.
The fiance right next to them with the gun in her lap. I was like, damn. So then he gets up and says, go clean up, Jess. You gotta work. He looks at Jared and says, any questions? Jared says, I want to go home. I laughed out loud. I couldn't help it. And Z goes, nah, I'm gonna spend the night with my girl. So you gonna take Jess to her out calls. I was like, damn. Fuck.
So not only, hold up.
I know, right? I know. It's crazy.
So not only did he just sit there and watch his girl get done by this pimp, now he's in the driver's seat. He's got to take her to her appointments, to her out calls.
To get more done.
Yeah.
To get done. Mm-hmm.
And it's a big black dude. That's the other equation we keep leaving out of it. Some big black nigga is fucking some small white girl. Because and the reason I know she's small is because if anybody wants to look up the real tweets, you will see the real Zola and I prefer her as white bitch. Her and white
Jessica.
bitch.
Yeah.
We're going to go by white bitch. Her and white bitch are at the top of the picture.
Oof.
Okay, go.
The first client calls and says he ready. So Jared takes us. Z left the handgun, but told me not to tell them. He slid it on me on the slick. He texted the trap phone like, I'm trusting you with my bitch, Zola. If anything goes left, use it. I was like, what? Nigga, I can't. So anyway, Jared took us to about 4 clients, and then the phone was slow. Me and Jared were in the car together while she was working. So we start having deep convo. He really wasn't a bad dude, but he was bipolar, very bipolar. So I understood his outbursts a little more. So we head back to the hotel, and I fidget this one last call, late as fuck. And client says, I got 5,000, but I want 2 bitches. I said, oh, sorry, we only have one. The client goes, well, I got 2,000 for one, but it's 4 dudes, and we only do in calls. I was like, wow, what? So I text Z and told him. He was like, hell yeah, tell him come on. So I set it up. The last minute, the client goes, actually, out call is fine, and gives me an address. So we went in the car and head to the address. Jess goes, it's 4 of them. Can you just wait in the hall, please? I was like, bitch, like, come on. So we head up to the room number, and the room number that they gave, and Jess knocks. A dude goes, who is it? And she says, in call. The door flings open fast as fuck, and 2 big black dudes snatched Jess. Bitch, I ran so goddamn fast, I couldn't even see straight. I was out. Fuck that. I ran out. The car is gone. I'm screaming, Jared, this fool is gone. So I call him, still running. He like, y'all done? I said, he told you to never leave us. Where are you? He's like, I'm at the gas station. I was thirsty. I thought she was going to be a minute. I'm still running, laughing my fucking ass off. Don't know where I'm going. I'm like, they snatched a dude. Come get me. I'm calling the police. He pulls up a minute later and is like, don't call the police. Call Z. I was like, Z going to beat everybody ass. You wasn't supposed to leave. And he was like, well, you have a gun. If you call the cops, you done too. I was like, shit, you're right. So I called Z and told him what happened. Z is livid. And this deep African accent comes out. I couldn't even understand him on the phone. I was like, man, we dead, bro. So Z pulls up and is like, let's go. I said, I'm gonna stay here. Y'all go. He goes, I'm not in the mood right now. Come the fuck on. That's my little African accent.
We got it.
So we all go. Me and Jared on the side of the hallway. You can't see. And Z knocks on the door. A man goes, who is it? Z goes, where my bitch, man? Jessica screams. And the voice says, ain't no bitch in here, bro. I was like, oh. God. Z goes, open the door. Guess who opens the door? The nigga with dreads that Jared was smoking with at the rundown motel. I was like, ooh. So he goes, come in and check to Z. Z motioned for us to stay hidden. Thank God. So he goes in the room and Dreadhead there by himself right now. Z sits on the bed with his strap out and goes, where's she at, man? Dread goes, well, since she wants to still work from my girls, she clearly wants to be here with us. We still don't see Jess. So Z goes in the closet and busts the door in, and she's in there, tied up, knocked the fuck out. Dread goes, I got $20K for her right now, man, and all is forgiven. Z said, we made more than $20K this weekend alone. Get out of here. So Dread goes, my dude's downstairs, not gonna let you walk out with her like that. And Z said, we'll see. Mind you, I can barely see. I'm around the corner. So I just hear everything. Next thing I know, I hear some shuffling and a gun goes off. Once again, I take off. But I look down the hall. Through the back, Jared wasn't far behind, and then we look behind us, and Z is running too with Jess over his shoulder. He throws Jess in the car, hops in the driver's seat. I hopped in with him and Jared, and Jared hopped in the other car, and we got the fuck on. I'm crying. I said, what the fuck happened? He goes, that nigga reached for his piece, and I shot him in the face, man. I was like, oh my God. we got back to our hotel, packed our shit and checked out. We went to Z and his fiance's condo. Nice as fuck, by the way. Jess is up now, and she tells us what happened. Apparently, they recognized her from the motel and set her up clearly. And once they snatched her, they told her the trap for them. And she said no. So they beat her ass. That's what Z interrupted when he knocked. So they knocked her out. Whew, I was like, I really got to go home, y'all. Sorry to kill the mood, but I can't take no more of this. Jared was like,
same.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Jared went from a boyfriend to an accomplice for Zola. That's crazy. God. The funny part was she was running and she looked back and this nigga was behind her, hauling ass too.
Right behind her.
All right, hold up. Okay, insane, so man. We almost so where are we on the list of crimes thus far? Prostitution, kidnapping, murder.
Yep. Yep.
Possible murder. Let's go with a possible
murder. Attempted at least.
Yeah.
Extortion in there?
Extortion's in there. Yeah.
Extortion's in there.
Yeah.
Just poor decisions, man.
All right.
Trapping.
Pimping, yeah, pimping. Pimping. So soliciting, I guess that would be soliciting, considered soliciting, right?
Solicitation. Yeah.
You did mention prostitution, right?
I did mention prostitution, solicitation.
Mm-hmm. Kidnapping? Okay. Can we say kidnapping?
Can we put that? Kidnapping,
yeah,
assault.
Assault, definitely. Yeah. And you did say attempted murder, right?
Attempted murder or at least, yeah. Murder 2, if not murder 1, because he shot him in the face. We don't know what happened to the dread because
we hauled ass with. Yeah. But it wasn't nice, whatever it was.
What happened?
This is just, talk about, thankfully, this happened, almost 10 years ago, right? We can laugh about it and all this other stuff, but imagine being in that situation, being in that room when this stuff is happening. This is this is real dangerous, right? All of this is dangerous, beginning to end.
This is all bad. Is it bad that I can't get enough of laughing at how hilarious this whole horrible, traumatic incident is? Because these people are in reality. These people are probably traumatized. Somebody's probably injured. This young
or
Jess.
worse.
Jess has her whole family knowing that now she's a prostitute, even her child, because her boyfriend decides to do some revenge porn. I guess that's the thing too, revenge porn. I guess so.
Revenge porn, yeah.
Puts it on her page.
Wait though, revenge porn. He technically isn't that when they put you on
Showing,
image of you? He didn't technically do that.
Okay, he didn't
He
technically
just outed
do that.
her.
He outed her.
He
Okay,
outed her.
He outed her
Yeah, he outed her.
profession. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is as funny as I'm thinking this thing is, just because that's where my brain goes. This is some traumatic stuff, man.
It's absolutely traumatic. I mean, just the amount of damage this story has done to so many people, beginning to end, and the amount of damage they had going in, right? To go into the situation, this girl Jess, right? She knew what she was going to be doing in Florida, decided not to tell Zola. She knows she's got a pimp. She's not telling her boyfriend that, right? She knows exactly what's going to happen. What happened before all of this that led to this story that got her to this point where this was okay, that this made sense to do in the beginning, right? To begin with. So she clearly has experience with this. She knew what all the range of possibilities were going to be, and she did it anyway. So just the amount of trauma that she had to have suffered just to lead to, let's go to Florida, right? And be okay with that. That on its own it could be its own book. So,
all right, so
just
Kristen,
amazing.
Let me ask you this, Kristen. Okay, say your piece because I got a question. Yeah.
Remind me when we, go towards the end of it to circle back to trauma, because I want to touch on that a little bit, but later on. So yes.
Okay, because my question. So when you think about that, because my question to you was, have you ever come across somebody with this level of trauma? And if so, how did you handle them? Well, what was your approach to them?
I remember in high school, I don't know his level of trauma, but I knew his level of intense crazy. And I was I went to visit my little boyfriend in high school in Montclair, and he was hanging out with some guys, and this one guy was sitting on a bat, if that makes any sense. Because I know that sounds crazy, but he was kind of leaning. The bat was standing up, and he was leaning on the bat, which right there was who would do this? That looks uncomfortable. So I forgot what they were discussing, and I asked him a question, and somehow his response let me know, okay, he's purely crazy. Walk away, leave him alone. So if I see anything or experience anything that just doesn't sit right for me, I will leave in an instant, regardless. I'm not trying to see just how far something can go. So with this situation so far, they just kept moving forward and deeper into it.
Yeah.
So for me, going back, and I'm not going to get the details of it, but going back, I knew a pimp. I knew a pimp in Manhattan. I came across him.
Slappy.
Listen. I even got a pimp laugh. Backhand, bitches.
Make
not me. Yeah, some of my favorite movies are actually pimp movies. What was it, Willie Dynamite? That's one of my favorite movies. What's the matter, Willie? You can't control your bitches.
You can't control your bitches. You got to have vision. You got to have vision.
You have to have vision. Yeah.
That is.
And oddly enough, two of the dudes went to be on the most wholesome TV shows of all times. One guy's on Sesame Street, played the Willie Dynamite pimp, and the other guy's Isaac from The Love Boat. And they both played a pimp.
Oh, wow.
In this movie.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
wow.
And in my heyday, not now, I was acquainted with several strippers. And
how do you like that disclaimer, James? In my head, I was acquainted with several strippers.
In my heyday.
In my heyday, He had
back
some
in
upper
back
echelon
many
homo
moons ago.
Acquainted.
Moons ago.
acquainted with strippers.
Yeah,
Acquainted.
I knew a few. I knew
was
a few
classy
exotic
even.
dancers back in my heyday. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
They always
but
test negative.
yeah, you
Mm-mm.
sound like a negative even. Oh, so
My
negative
hoes were
even.
clean. These hoes were
Hey,
clean.
Mr. Murgatroyd.
Even. These
But
were good.
Man.
but to finish out that, I guess, that thought, having conversations with them about how did you go from this point to now you're doing your thing on the pole. It's funny how what their responses were back in the day to now, present day. We're talking 2024. The reasoning is so drastically different. Now you can have women. I've seen posts and articles where women who have PhDs and all sorts of things just get into the sex industry purely solely for the money. Where the women I knew back in 90, 2000, they needed a way out. Home wasn't right, had to leave from home at 16 or whatever it was, best way to make money, and then they go from that to something else. So I guess we could discuss a little bit of that later. But anyway,
Yeah, desperation. You
desperation,
find
yeah.
yourself with very few options, and then suddenly options you would never have considered before become viable.
Don't win it down this mood, but let's continue on, Miss J. Eddie.
Z's fiance was in the kitchen counting money, dog. Just like a rich hoe. So Z was like, everybody get some sleep. I got to get rid of this. Talking about the gun. So he leaves and we try to get some sleep. The next morning he comes in with tickets for me and Jared. Jared goes, I'm not leaving Jess here. Not after last night. She has a daughter and needs to come home. So he was like, nah, we're making money. I was like, wow. With a black eye and a busted lip and some Florida niggas looking for you. You still trying to trap. Crazy. I was like, well, I'm ready. Just goes, it'll be okay, Jared. I'll be home in 3 days. Jared started with that punching himself shit again. I was like, man, here we go. Jared goes, come with me or I'm killing myself. He was like, not this shit again. I'll be in the car. Y'all two hurry up. So Jared is literally breaking down. You ever see someone hysterically crying? It's intense. And Jess is trying to calm him. I'm at the door ready. Jared randomly stops crying instantly, like some movie shit, and goes, so you aren't coming? Jess said, no, Jared, I can't. This nigga Jared runs towards their balcony and jumps. I swear to God, Bible, he fucking jumped. I screamed so loud, my heart stopped. Just runs towards the balcony, and this nigga Jared was hanging. He didn't fall all the way. He was stuck by his pants. Thank God. We were only on the 4th floor, but he still would have died. It was a good drop. So Jess is helping him, and I call Z, laughing my fucking ass off, still crying. I was like, Jared is stuck. He tried to jump off your balcony. Z was like, what is wrong with this nigga? Families live here, bro. What the fuck?
So now families matter.
Families live here.
Families live here, yeah. Families.
So now we had a little bit of empathy now, just a little.
Just a touch. Man. So Z came up, helped get him, slapped the fuck out of him, literally, and physically guided him to the car. Jess comes out and goes, I swear I didn't set you up, Zola. I never intended for you to trap. That's why you didn't. I hope we can be friends after. What? I don't even know what emojis those are, but I'm thinking, I looked at her like she wasn't speaking English, and I said, I'm not going to beat your ass right now because you already in bad shape, but I better not ever see or hear from you again. And she walked away. Z literally buckled Jared's seatbelt, laughing my fucking ass off, and we went to the airport. Bear with me, it's almost over. When we landed in Detroit, my man picked us up. We both looked horrible, so washed up and tired. My man was like, who is this white boy and what's wrong with y'all? I said, babe, neither of us are the same. Just take him to his car and take me home. We dropped Jared off on the way home. And I told him everything. He couldn't even speak, honestly. Check this out. This, the last 4 tweets. She's lying.
Yeah.
I get a collect call 4 days later from a jail in Las Vegas. It's Jessica. She goes, we got caught trapping in Vegas and we all got arrested. I said, oh, why are you calling me? She goes, Z was wanted for kidnapping 15 underage girls and is linked to 6 murders, including Florida. I said, Florida? Murder? You have the wrong number. She's screaming, ask Jared to bail me out.
Prank caller, prank caller, prank caller.
I said, Florida, murder. You have the wrong number. She screams, ask Jared to bail me out. He won't answer my collect call. I said, Jared, you really have the wrong number. I hung up and called Jared. He goes, yeah, I heard. It's on the news. He's a huge trafficker. I'm sorry. I gotta just take a second to laugh. I found out later Jessica and his fiance played victim and said they were forced. And Z, whose name I can't pronounce, was an African man and was wanted literally everywhere. He got sentenced to life. And I hear Jess is back in Detroit with her mom and baby. If you're stuck with the whole story, you are hilarious. LOL.
That's crazy.
Okay, so scroll up a bit. I'm sorry, just go back up a bit. No, to the last 2 tweets. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so the trafficker had a life sentence.
I found out later that Jessica and his fiance played victim and said they were forced. And Z, whose name I cannot pronounce, was an African man and was wanted literally everywhere. He got sentenced to life. And I hear Jess is back in Detroit. You mean like everything that he?
No. I'm trying to figure out that Jessica and his fiance. You mean her fiance? I was trying to figure out who's his fiance.
No, his fiance.
Z's fiance.
Z's fiance. Jessica.
Okay.
Z's
they
fiance.
pretended they were forced. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
He's wanted for kidnapping 15 underage girls and is linked to 6 murders, including Florida. So that answers your question about whatever happened to that guy, right? You remember we said it.
Yeah. So he did.
Now we know
shot in the face.
He's dead.
Yeah. Wow.
So Jessica's
Oh gosh. I'm sorry. It's so crazy.
So
it's crazy. The whole thing's crazy.
Yeah.
Wait,
okay, hold on. So
we're gonna take turns telling what we think about it.
Yeah, hold on. Just keep scrolling some more. Go back to because there's some pictures at the bottom. So that's Jessica.
Okay, wait a minute. Now, are people going to see these pictures that you're referring to?
Probably not. That's why I'm telling them if you want to go.
You're going to edit them in. You're going to put them in post.
No, not even close to it. I'm just going to say right now, if you want to see these pictures of what Jessica looks like and what Zola looks like, Google it. You got use your fingers, use your Twitter fingers.
We are looking at these photos, everyone, if you can't see them and you're only listening, and these two gals really look like some little cul-de-sac chicks. Like they
look like every girl I went to high school with.
They look like they know both their parents, and they might have been in a couple of clubs in high school. And I don't mean clubs outside. I mean in clubs in high school. So
to give a better description, if you can't Google this, one of them looks like Christina Aguilera, circa early 90s before she had the child. And the other one, I don't know who the other one resembles.
Looks like Jessica. Oh, Jessica looks like Jessica Alba.
Really? Right? I thought she looked more like Christina Aguilera, but somewhere in between. I guess a mixture of the two.
Somewhere between the two. Yeah.
And Zola, I swear, they look like every little chick I went to high school with.
Zola looks like a black version of Jessica.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. It's true.
This is why these two gummies came together.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. We go to the next one. I think that's the picture of Jared. I just want to see what Jared looks like. Yep. Jared looks like every wife I've ever seen. So
this picture is Jared with his new boo. He moved on. She's got a. What's her shirt say? Party pit. So he got another wild one.
Describe the picture. Describe Jared, because people are just listening. You don't know if they're seeing it.
Jared would be any person who was a fan of Eminem when Eminem first came out. So he has the short buzz cut hair with a white t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Kind of a little bit of a goatee situation happening. He has a Caucasian female sitting on his shoulders with the shirt that says Party Pit. And she has the rad/devil fingers up.
Right, with her tongue hanging out.
So.
Probably saying "woo" some version of that.
And he has the fingers up too as well. So I guess they're enjoying whatever night that is. He looks young though, maybe, and this is new boo. So everybody in this picture, I gotta say, looks young. I'm talking like 1920s, 1920,
Yeah,
21 maybe.
yeah.
Okay. Okay,
You did
go back right there.
You told them what year these tweets came out, right?
This was
2015.
2015.
Mm-hmm. October 27th, 2015.
Yeah.
Okay, no, go back down to the pictures. I just want to see the last set of pictures because I believe that's her
Right there.
now.
Found her ass pregnant again, new family, I guess. Cute. Everything of Z and the fiance gone off her shit, obviously.
Okay, so what I'm getting, I guess what I'm getting from this is that the story she told was a couple years prior, I'm assuming. Because if she's pregnant again and she found a new fiance and the guy found a new fiance, the story she's telling had to be a couple years old. So as of 2015, when she told the story, it might have been 2010,
Right.
2011, something like that when she told these stories.
Yeah. I think you're right, Ab. I think you're right. Yeah.
But she had a second kid. So
wow.
And the kid's and it's a young boy. And she's pregnant again. So that makes her 3 kids, I'm assuming, because she had a daughter already that was staying with the mother. So all right. So any commentary before we get into the lesson part of it? Kristen, I remember you had something to say about trauma that you wanted to circle back to.
Yeah, when you talk about how much trauma these people went through, is more traumatic for us because this is not our life. This is their life. So I would imagine that there wasn't that much trauma because they're just living that life. Now, some of the things I'm skeptical about a lot of this stuff. And I guess I kind of feel like when you're around those things, you're going to see some things and then you become desensitized to those things. So, but I question a lot of stuff in the story because Zola was such a pro at knowing how much a hoe should make and that type of thing. So then, but yet you didn't peep these characters before you took this trip. Like you didn't pick up, like, what was the fascination of you? What was the captivation with Jessica that you were ready to just rock with her and go to Florida? Like, the people that I have come across in this world usually are very quick to size up individuals, like street smarts. And Zola to me was very cul-de-sac-y, just like that picture of her and the other girl. They look very not of that life.
You know,
so let me
what I took away
from
that, Kristen. What I took away from that part was, she had just made 15,000 a couple of months before, and for her, this was nothing more than a free ride to Florida to go make more money. So it was just a convenient way to get down there. She clearly didn't think this through or think what could have happened with all the different characters she didn't know that were joining the ride. But she was like, oh, easy 15 grand. I'll take this ride with this woman. She seems like she's all right after meeting her one time at a Hooters. I'll take a free ride and get some cash and head back. So I don't think she thought it through. I think she was as naive as she looked.
I also think that you can be an idiot savant in certain areas. Like people are good at math. She's good with home math. Like she could calculate, okay, bitches times 2, 500 a piece. Just run down. Maybe this is such her world. Here's the thing. I know a girl who started stripping in high school. And she was stripping at adult clubs, and she had to be nothing more than 16 when she was stripping in high school. And mind you, this girl that I knew was from the suburbs. But even if you're from the suburbs, they still have, because I know people who live in the suburbs who still have the same traumas and abuse and violence and poverty and things like that. Just because you can live in an area don't mean you can live in the area, can afford to live in the area. You doing all your money goes to the housing. As you want to put your kid in a better school district or something of that nature. So I can see how someone could get into that life really early. And I do think, even though we do know these people made choices, and we're witnessing or we're hearing the choices that they made, as traumatic as it is to us, I still think there's a level of trauma on their end that's deeper than just the surface trauma that we'll probably get, because it's just there got to be some scarring down there just to make these types of choices.
There's definitely, I agree, something up with them. But as far as the experiences of one thing after the next, is like I could see them being dismissive of the craziness, but at the same time, that's in that world. It's in that world. The craziness is in that world. So
But I've seen. Okay, so I've been in instances.
yes,
So
you have.
I've been shot at 1, 2,
Just running down the street in the burbs.
3 times. I've been shot at 3 times, 4, and all those times
actually shot once. Actually shot once.
I got grazed in the hands once.
Damn, Zola.
Yeah, and every time it happened, it was happenstance. I was in a neighborhood, I had on the wrong color shirt when I was in California. I had on a red shirt in a Crip neighborhood. Some guy said something to me. I gave him the finger. They came around and sprayed the block. The other time, I was coming from some girl's place at 2 a.m. in Brooklyn.
Wait a minute. Happenstance? You just said you were where now?
Oh, so I ain't gonna say the names, but I was staying in Pasadena. A friend of mine was staying in Watts. We went to go hang out at his place in Watts, and we're just hanging out. And mind you, this is my
right there. I already have heard of Watts.
No, but this is like early 90s. No, late 90s, mid 90s. It's mid 90s.
So this was good Watts.
No, not the good Watts. It was Watts in the 90s.
I see where Watts was
white. This is before Watts.
I get where you're going, but so anytime you go to nowadays, if you go to a black neighborhood, if it's not someplace in DC or something, or Maryland somewhere, or maybe Atlanta, it tends to be a impoverished black neighborhoods. And I'm not gonna not go to pop neighborhood just because the neighbors run down. I didn't know the gang affiliations of that neighborhood because I'm from Jersey. This is me going to California, just hanging out, seeing some of my friends that I knew.
What was your understanding of Watts before you went there that time?
My understanding of Watts was bad and it had gangs. But I didn't. Here's the thing. I didn't
say no more.
I didn't pay any attention to the outfit. It wasn't like I didn't know I wasn't prepared to go to a bad neighborhood and confront or see some things that I wound up seeing. I didn't know that what the color line was at that time, because like in California, you can go to one street, it's a Crip street, one street's a Blood street, and I didn't pay attention to the colors I had on. I'm from Jersey. I didn't pay attention to what colors I had.
That's a West Coast thing. It's a West Coast thing.
Stop saying I'm from Jersey. Because you already said you had an idea, a preconceived idea about, or prejudged idea about Watts, or some type of understanding about Watts, and you chose to go anyway. You were Zola.
No, I was not.
Well,
what I'm saying.
no. I'm gonna rock with Kristen on this one for a second, right? Meaning you were used to
we're supposed to be brothers.
we are brothers, man. But look, because you're used to hood neighborhoods, you were like, this is just another hood neighborhood. What you didn't realize was that there was a different aspect related to colors that we don't have on the East Coast that did exist on the West Coast. So in that way, you were used to a certain environment, but you didn't know all the rules of that environment that you were going to. So it's a little bit similar.
But you knew that environment had some rules because you already knew you were going to the hood.
Yeah, I knew that it had rules, and I knew I was going to the hood. Okay, I was not cognizant. I'll accept everything you're saying. Just the simple fact that I was not cognizant of the colors I had on at the time. Because and I'm saying this, the reason I keep saying I'm from Jersey, because at the time I had on black pants, black boots, and a red shirt. And to me, that's just regular everyday gear.
James, your little entitled suburban neighborhood brother thought that he was invincible. That's what that was.
No, because
anybody gonna mess with me.
No, that's not it at all. That was not at all, because so that happened mid-90s, right? Or you're
gonna learn today. Mm-hmm.
Before that incident happened, I got shot at before. Some guys trying to rob me.
So you didn't learn today.
No, I was walking home.
Different
I was walking home. Yeah. Some guys saw me and they pulled guns on and tried to rob me. And I was in Brooklyn, and I was going to family's house. I know the neighborhood. I know the area. There's nothing about that insidious at all. I just happened to cut through a neighbor, was walking, and at nighttime, and these guys caught me slipping. but that's what happens in
Cut,
Brooklyn.
you cut through a neighborhood,
Yeah.
you know, at night.
No, I didn't cut through a
In
neighborhood I
Brooklyn.
didn't know. I knew the neighborhood.
You knew
I knew
the
the
neighborhood in Brooklyn.
Kristen, I've seen people pull guns out on some of the nicest neighborhoods. It's not like guns don't get pulled out anywhere.
I know, Slappy, but some of these places, I'm sorry, everybody. Abdul's other
Brook-
name is Slappy Jenkins. Some of these neighborhoods, we've heard about them in advance. And that's not to say that the stereotypes or the rumors or the whatever descriptions are always accurate, but they are out there. Brooklyn, like Brooklyn's soundtrack is Buck, 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 isn't it? Isn't that Brooklyn?
So I think it's more like Booyaka, but that's like.
Oh, there you go. And you said it was late at night.
Yeah. Late at night. So okay, so let's. I don't want to get into this conversation.
Let's get back to the story. Let's get back to Zola.
Act like we can't as Black people can't go anywhere we want to, and we have to. It's just like crazy that. Anyway, okay, so yes, prior to that, some guys pulled guns on me because they wanted my clothes. They wanted my coat, specifically in my boots. But I've seen it happen literally at churches and at nightclubs and at house parties in some of the nicest neighborhoods. So people robbing people isn't new. It happens everywhere. And right. Brooklyn, the amount of time I spent in Brooklyn and the amount of violent incidents that I've seen is less than the amount of time that I spent in white neighborhoods and the amount of violence I've seen. Mm-hmm. So they're not, those things are, not mutually exclusive. They can both happen at the exact same time. But anyway,
and James, this is all still under the, I guess, the making choices part of the whole thing as it relates to Zola and Jessica.
If we were to transition now into the life lessons, that's the first one, right? Mm-hmm. Actions and consequences. So all of this starts because of a bad decision up front to do a road trip with someone you barely know. And then to get in the car with that person, with other people who you don't know at all, right? The person that she met with Jessica at the Hooters is now a different person that's in the car. Right. We still don't even know who the original guy was, right? That was at Hooters. So there's a thought here that, I think some people do get analysis paralysis. They feel like they have to know absolutely everything before they move forward with an action. And then there's other people who, like in this case, who barely need to know anything to make a decision and go, yeah, I'm down, I'll go. But there's a balance in between that we have to understand. You have to know enough to know you're going to be safe, to have some predictability about, are we going to be okay at the end of this, right? But if you go in knowing nothing at all, you're setting yourself up for anything to happen. So I don't think it's good to try to I need to know absolutely everything, because you never will. But knowing absolutely nothing isn't going to help either. You got to know something. So actions and consequences. It's like throwing that pebble into the lake and all these ripple effects. And that's this story, this ripple after ripple after ripple, new pebble, more ripples, more ripples. Right. This was just a dangerous, just bad circumstance beginning to end. So that's the first one I would say. The second thing I'll throw out there is that really stood out to me was the power of social media, right? So Jared, Jessica's boyfriend, to get back at Jessica, reaches out, grabs the ads that she and Zola put out there and posted them to Facebook. He did that 100% for free, and it probably took him seconds to do it. So it's just a reminder that, we have to be careful about what we're doing. Sometimes it helps to move in silence, because anyone can put anything on your social media and everyone will be aware of it. So there's a caution, there's a tale of caution in here that applies to everyone. That's very relatable. Be careful of what you do, because it can end up on your social media page. So that's an important point here as well. The third point I'll make is very different, which is the power of storytelling. This is a very compelling story, and the way that Zola tells it, and Kristen, the way you read it, right? I love that you're the one who read this, not me or Abdul. It comes across different when a woman writes it and a woman reads it, right? The way you read it, I could hear Zola saying it the way you read it, right? So I'm really thankful to you for being here. But there's a power in storytelling, right? That really it resonates in a very different way, where everyone walks away with some entertainment, some life lessons, some cautious tales, some, oh my God, I know someone just like this, or even worse, oh my God, I know these people, right? So being able to put together a really compelling story led to these tweets turning into a movie. So those who have that ability to take a story and really make it interesting, all of this could be 100% true, some portions of it, or all of it could be fabricated. I don't know. Feels like there's some truth in here. Like I feel like I know people like this, right? So all of this sounds possible and plausible to me. But the way it reads is really compelling. It makes you read the whole thing, makes you want to listen to the whole thing. So as a skill set, being able to tell a compelling story end to end, whether that's in the boardroom or the hood, it will make you a very interesting person to have that ability.
Yeah.
Kristen, thoughts?
Well, to piggyback on what James was saying about, making decisions, a very wise friend, Greg, once said, play pussy, get fucked. It's so crass, but so profound.
I think that happened in the story.
I know, literally, right?
I think like 40 times, actually, if we're counting the numbers.
That expression just goes so far for me. It has so much meaning and depth to it. Like the choices that you make are going to be the experiences you get. But part of me is kind of skeptical on the validity of this story. You're right. It's either true or it's not. If it's not, it was very strategic with marketing to go the Twitter route. But there's some things, I don't know. I guess once you tell me something is supposed to be true, I'm looking for specifics to kind of give it validity and weight. There were a couple moments there where she kind of Zola disappointed me as a Black woman. So overall, I definitely thought that this story was entertaining and engaging. And I don't know if it's real or not. There are parts of it that I was like, I don't know if I buy that, but it was definitely interesting and entertaining. So yeah.
Okay, so is there anything you learned from this? Like, what's the lesson you got out of this?
Make better decisions for myself. I mean, I think I already do, but I try to be more mindful about who I'm around and how they get down, because I don't want somebody else's stuff spilling into my world. I'm very like careful and mindful about that. So I mean, if you step in shit, you're gonna stink. And Zola was rolling in it.
Yeah.
Zola was rolling in it. So and girl was just like, what did I do? Like, I didn't do it. I didn't mean to. She just kind of kept doing things after one after the next. And Zola, then the tears. No, come on now. So
Victim, yeah.
Making definitive choices and being selective about who's around me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
How about you, Ab? What you thinking?
I guess the two I come up with is one, be mindful of the niggas you bring on your podcast, because then they want to bring up old shit and accuse you of in the wrong neighborhoods and wrong parts of towns, and you invite a nigga to read something on the podcast you and your brother's doing. So beware of niggas from Jersey. Part two, I guess to be all serious, I guess the main factor of it, to me, what comes to the lesson is trauma. The things that past trauma can allow you to think is okay, allow you to partake in, because of things that happen to you. So I think it'd be wise if anybody to take account of themselves at whatever phase they are in their life, and think about the traumas that they had in the past that are affecting their futures, and it might be affecting people around them that they may know or unwittingly not know, because it's just instinctive for them to do. So, and also, I guess to piggyback on to what Kristen said, I think accountability is part of the whole trauma situation as well. If you can take account of the trauma that you have, really understand how things in the past affect your future, and then take account of it, be accountable for it, and then try to move better moving forward. The one thing the story left off was that even though it seemed, other than the African guy, that everybody ended off well, they just seemed like they stumbled into another situation, and no one really says, oh, this is what I learned, this is what I got out of this, I will never do this again. Like, we'd never heard her say or feel remorseful about any of this stuff. She laughed at certain points. She laughed out loud when the dude was getting beat up. in the room where he got slapped around, and and she didn't even say what happened to her boyfriend. Like, what happened with that? She told him this whole story about all this trauma that happened. This is her man. He has to have some feelings about it. Not that it may change her behavior, but I mean, it affects him in some capacity. So I think, take account of your traumas, try to rectify them or heal them is a better way to put it, and be accountable for your actions that those traumas may cause other people. That's it.
All true. All true. Ab, a phrase comes to mind as you were speaking, which is,
No,
it's amazing what you can get used to, right?
that is
You
true.
live a certain way, and someone on the outside looking in is like, don't you see what you're doing? Can't you see what you're creating for yourself? But when you're the one that's in it, because you're used to it, you're used to those environments, those personalities, those archetypes. Sometimes you can't see that that's not where you need to be. You're just used to
people.
it.
I think, I remember her hearing the phrase "nose blind" when people are around the stench so long they can't even smell it anymore. But and they just get so used to a smell. So imagine incidents. Every rap song I've ever listened to, every it's all about people telling these traumatic stories, and they do it so entertainingly, the way Zola did in this tweet thread, that sometimes you don't recognize or realize or even take account to the fact that this is some damage done to somebody.
Yeah.
And these people are in the world affecting other people.
Yeah, absolutely. This brings up another interesting point too, which is, there's some real dangerous people in the world, and they walk amongst us. So you do have to be careful, right? You have to be more mindful about who you're surrounding yourself with, and who they're surrounding themselves with, because that can impact you as well, right?
Right.
So there's a degree of separation here that you know you know so Zola meets Jessica. Jessica knows these people. They meet some other people down there who end up kidnapping Jessica, right? So it's just, there's some really truly dangerous people in the world, and that danger can exist across multiple platforms. We can talk about physical danger, emotional danger, intellectual danger. There's a lot of different types. Spiritual danger. There's a lot of different types of danger. You have to know who you're dealing with, and be ready to tap out. You have to have an escape plan. If things don't go well, what's your way out?
And just to add on to that, if you believe in the idea of 6 degrees of separation, all these dangerous people are not that far from you.
That's right.
They're 6 degrees or so from you. So it's closer to you than you think. So even though we may be laughing about Z and his violence and trafficking, kidnapping, if the theory is true, he's only 6 people from you.
Or less.
Now, to add to that, I'm a believer that the people that you have around you, people that you choose to have around you, often are a reflection of you or some facet of you. And in listening to, and I did watch the movie, Zola and Jessica had some similarities, as in Zola accused her of being messy. Zola was messy. Zola's boyfriend was not too different from Jared.
Yeah.
So it's just like, if we start peeling back Zola's world, I'm sure we'll see even more like, well, what's going on over here? A lot of similarities. So maybe that was the initial attraction. She found her white counterpart. I don't know.
Yeah, birds of a feather.
Right.
Yeah.
Birds of a feather. Yeah.
She did
together.
Yeah. Get hoed out together. Birds of a feather gets hoed out together. Yeah. So what effect, and I think this is my last, and then I guess we can from here. But this movie actually, this tweet became a movie, and this movie did. A24 is a really reputable production company. I don't know if you've ever heard of the company, but they've done a lot of movies, and they've won a lot of Oscars for their movies.
Moonlight,
so
Lady Bird, Hereditary.
And there's a couple that are coming out now that I recently saw. As a matter of fact, they have their own channel on Showtime, on the Showtime network, or they do a lot of movies with Showtime. So she got money from this project, from this. Do you think, from reading who Zola is in this tweet and getting the money you could possibly get, easily 6 figures for this story, and the money that you get on the back end, points on the back end and things like that you can get. How do you have high hopes for Zola to take those things and do good with it? Or we're just, because I'm just speculating here, because I'm just saying, if you give somebody in this position with this mindset $300,000, I don't know.
Define good, because I think Zola's going to do Zola things.
Yeah.
I think that's Ab's point.
It's going to be good for
right?
Zola.
Yeah. I think that's Ab's point, is that, lottery winners are always a great example, right? If you have a lottery winner who doesn't know how to take care of money, they're gonna blow through their money very quickly, because they're applying their current mindset, which is a poverty mindset, to all this money. They're gonna buy cars and bags and and blow money like you wouldn't believe. Zola, being Zola, whatever her mindset was at the time that she wrote this and got picked up as a movie, unless she did some work for herself to evolve from where she was and change her mindset. And that's books, that's people you meet, that's hiring someone, a money manager that will keep you safe from yourself, right? Protect you from yourself. If she didn't do those things, she's probably dancing again.
You know what, though? I think Zola is a money magnet, but it's money with the drama. So I think that she probably would do something good with it, but it still would include some old next level drama, something. Because remember, she made the $15K before when she went to Florida. So Zola can get the money, and clearly she manifested this money. So Zola can get the money, but it's going to come with Zola-ish.
Yeah. And good point on the drama too, right? I mean, some people are truly attracted to the drama, and that's why they attract it, right? They like having these stories. Look, I am the corniest, most boring guy you'll ever meet. I love no drama. I like when things are calm and quiet and balanced, right? And that's how I live. So I try to stay.
What you say, Kristen?
I am right there with you, James. I don't like drama. I like my drama on television or in the movies.
Yeah.
What you know something? You know something, Abdul?
Not something I say publicly. Anything I say publicly. No, she's right. I know, Kristen. I'm joking.
I am boring. I am quite boring. Let me tell you, when I was in high school, a friend of mine, we were coming from a party late, and we missed the last bus, and our another friend was like, "I got a ride for you." The guy pulls up, and I'm like, "I am not getting in that car." And my friend was mad at me because that was our only ride home. I am boring, and I'm just like, nah, I like my drama on television and in the movies, not in my life. So he looked like a heroine.
When he pulled up, did you say who all coming? Who all coming?
No, I said who all there?
Who all there?
Who all there?
Who all there?
Now he really looked like a heroin junkie, and the car was just like a mess. And she was so mad at me because she was like, "It's a ride home." I was like, "I will walk."
I gotta say, younger days, the younger Abdul did not have that level of discernment. I went where the fun was. Wherever the fun was, that's where I was at. And the things around me I saw in the process, going to nightclubs, going to parties, going from here to across the seas to LA to all the places I've been to, just on the search for fun, you see a lot of wild stuff. And that's one of the reasons I was attracted to this particular story.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zola.
Whatever, Negro. I can remember she was on the search for money and hustle. I was on the search for money and hustle. I was on the search for, that's where the party's at. Let's go have fun. Because that was my mindset, just where the fun was. But yeah. Anyway, Kristen, we appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you so much for
having
me. This was
Kristen.
fun.
Thank you so much for reading that the way you did. That was amazing.
Thank you for having me. I loved it.
We'd love to have you back at another time, something else, because you were very insightful and entertaining.
Yeah,
and
I'll tell you about my trip to Florida.
Yeah,
I have to get this money.
Yeah, you hung out with this nigga named A.
A to Z.
A to Z.
Money right quick.
Yeah, let me holler at you right quick. Put a story on back page for you real quick. You're gonna get this bread. Anyway, that was the Ignorance is Contagious podcast. Thanks to everybody for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and please stay abreast of all things we got coming up, because we have some more entertaining stories from some people who are coming on, and we have some more entertaining stories from some things we found out in the world, in the ether, that we really think you'd enjoy. And we appreciate you all for coming on this journey with us. So
Hey,
until next
Slappy.
time. Yes, nigga.
What's this show again?
I was gonna say something crazy.
Ignorance
Ignorance is contagious. Ignorance is contagious.
Yes, it is.
So, my nigga. Until next time, we're out.
Take care.
Good night, everybody.
The Rock is in the building. Facto.